want to get to and talk a little bit about what's going to happen tomorrow in Miami, Florida. President Trump is attending a launch of Evangelicals for Trump, and I want to make just a few points about that. There was an editorial in Christianity Today, which I haven't read. I've read pieces of it, but an editorial in Christianity Today, a very popular magazine, by the editor-in-chief, who is actually resigning or retiring next week. But he wrote an editorial essentially arguing that President Trump should be removed from office based on this whole farce of the Ukrainian, the impeachment and the whole argument what happened with the Ukraine. We've talked about that story many times in the show. I'm not going to go back and cover it again, but I do want to cover the idea that in Christianity Today, the editor thought that the argument that because President Trump had been accused of this, he was urging the president be removed from office by the Senate based on the articles of impeachment the House issued, when if you paid any attention to them at all, you realize there's absolutely nothing to this impeachment. It is just, as actually was admitted again recently by Texas Congressman Al Green, who said in some interview recently, yeah, you know what, we had this impeachment planned before he was sworn in. He didn't say these particular issues, but we were going to impeach him, we're going to take him out. So I think this timing of the Trump for Evangelicals for Trump in Florida may be tied to the Christianity Today editorial, but Christianity Today was roundly denounced, got many, many strong leaders in the evangelical movement speaking up and saying, what in the world is this guy thinking, that we have this president who's been strong on pro-life, strong on protecting freedom of religion, strong on protecting America, strong on restoring our military, strong on restoring the America First agenda. He's the one that you want Christians to attack. So Christianity Today was really roundly criticized, as they should have been, for running the editorial. But I want to make just 3 points about this Evangelicals for Trump mission. Number one, when President Trump was first running in 2016, there were many people who said, you know, he'll never get the Christian vote. He'll never get the evangelical vote because he's a New York City billionaire playboy lifestyle. Everyone knew both his life story, he's written about his life story, and actually thought his demeanor was not presidential, was just too brusque and confident and the way that President Trump is. So initially, many evangelical Christians thought they could not support him. And some leaders in the evangelical movement came out and said, you know, we can't support this guy. Look at the life he's led. He's done this, he's done that. Well, over time, in 2016, as Americans watched the political stage, they watched how strong the radical left was, the radical socialist left growing in power in this country, and they knew we needed a leader, a strong leader, someone who didn't crumble at the first insult that came to them from the American left or from the media. So President Trump occurred to people, even the evangelical movement, like, maybe this is the guy we need right now. Maybe this is the guy we need right now because he is at least going to fight. He does not let the media or the left shut him down or silence him. So slowly, some of the evangelical support moved from other candidates toward President Trump. Number two, and eventually, literally, President Trump brought along much of the evangelical vote to his side. Number two, what President Trump has done since he has been president to support the mission of many evangelicals in this country, many evangelicals who want to see a president supporting life. So they like that a president is not trying to help Planned Parenthood get more taxpayer dollars. They like a president who's speaking up for religious freedom, who is denouncing the attack on religion in America from many entities on the American left. They want a president who speaks of the Judeo-Christian founding of this country. They want a president who denounces socialism, which is at its core utterly contrary to the idea of America as founded. They want a president who will speak up for America. So people on the evangelical side have come along to see that this president really was, whatever his life story was before this is a president who will stand for the values that they care about and the issues they care about. And the third point about President Trump is I think you have many Americans more awake than they ever were before in recognizing how radically left today's Democrat Party has become. We don't really have many people you can describe as just liberals but on the American playing field. The radical socialist left in this country has overtaken the Democrat Party. You have one of the top contenders on the Democrat side for the presidential nomination, an avowed socialist. And by the way, Bernie Sanders is moving up again in polling. I'm telling you, folks, do not write him off. Do not think America wouldn't nominate him. In fact, there's a lot of talk in Washington about the leaders at the DNC becoming extremely concerned, as it looks like Bernie Sanders could actually win the nomination. They recognize it's a very dangerous thing. I frankly hope he does. I want that discussion. I want that national political conversation between the radical left of Bernie Sanders and America and conservatism and President Trump. In any case, the evangelicals have come around to realize that the radical left really has Christianity in its crosshairs. The evangelical America, just everyday mainstream Christian America, has realized that the radical left is utterly intolerant of Christianity, of its place in our society, of the right of freedom of religion, and they recognize we need a fighter on our side. And if we don't have President Trump, we're going to have one of those people in the American left who are pretty much surrendering to the radical socialist agenda. So I think it's timely, wonderful. I'm thrilled Trump is going to do it, and I predict it's going to be very successful.